For 4 decades, Cardiovascular Institute of the South and Terrebonne General Health System have partnered to deliver a legacy of cardiovascular innovation. We lead the state in advanced programs and complex procedures that you won't find anywhere else. Our specialized treatments for peripheral vascular disease, artery and vein disease, heart valve and structure conditions, arrhythmias, and more attract patients from around the world. Together, we deliver the cardiovascular care that you deserve. Visit tgncis.com to learn more.
Hello and welcome back to this edition of Bayou Time. Again, your host, Keith Whiteside, licensed clinical social worker with Terrebonne Home Care. Very glad you're joining us. However you may be joining us, we appreciate it very, very much. And whenever we want to get updates from things happening over in Assumption, we turn our attention to Commander Lonnie Cavalier, the Public Information Officer for Assumption Parish. Commander, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having us, Keith.
Yes, sir. We appreciate it. I know we've had lots and lots going on over there. Let's talk about the recent arrest of Darrell Harris.
Yes, Darrell Joseph Harris, 18 of 6414 Highway 1, Belrose, Louisiana, was arrested and resulted in the issuance of arrest warrants against 2 other individuals arising from a traffic incident on LE 70 East involving numerous off-road vehicles, including dirt bikes, illegally trafficking on a public roadway. On Friday afternoon, a uniformed patrol deputy assigned to the ICE detail, answering a complaint, ran across as many as 10 off-road vehicles operating at high speeds and in a reckless manner westbound on Highway 70 East. The deputy activated his emergency lights and audible systems in an attempt to stop the illegal riders. All suspects fled from the deputy, continuing westbound on Highway 70. While attempting to flee, Darrell Joseph Harris Jr. lost control of the dirt bike he was operating and was knocked off of the bike. Harris attempted to mount the bike again, but was arrested as he was attempting to flee a second time. Darrell Harris Jr. was arrested and booked into the Assumption Parish Detention Center on charges of aggravated flight from an officer, resisting an officer, and reckless operation of a motor vehicle. Slightly over 2 minutes later, the sheriff's office was notified of an injury accident involving a dirt bike and an automobile on Highway 70 spur near Rouse's Supermarket. That crash investigation is being handled by Louisiana State Police. The driver of that off-road vehicle is identified as Theron Travis Verdun, 20 of 1012 South Sanctuary Street, Gonzales, Louisiana, and was one of the violators who fled from the original incident. At the time of that crash, Theron Travis Verdun was not being pursued by any law enforcement personnel and was nearly 4 miles west of the original incident. Additionally, the off-road vehicle Verdun was operating was reported stolen from Jackson, Mississippi. In connection with the original incident on Highway 70 East, deputies have filed criminal charges on Theron Travis Verdun on counts of aggravated flight from an officer and reckless operation of a motor vehicle. Deputies intend to arrest Verdun once he is released from medical treatment. Deputies have also filed arrest warrants charging Maki Kyrie Johnson, 20 of 111 Gold Street, Napoleonville, on counts of aggravated flight from an officer and reckless operation of a motor vehicle. Deputies are seeking to arrest Maki Kyrie Johnson. Sheriff's deputies are continuing their efforts to identify additional suspects, and more charges are likely.
A lot of information there that led from that one with Darrell Harris and those other 2 gentlemen as well. Let's talk a little bit about Mr. Tyrone Fair.
Yeah, Tyrone Fair, 34 of 343 Highway 400 Napoleonville, was arrested on felony charges arising from a domestic incident at a residence in the 300 block of LA 400. Deputies were dispatched to the 100 block of Alvin Street, south of Napoleonville, in reference to a disturbance. Deputies made contact with the complainant, who advised that he was contacted by his daughter, who further advised that Tyrone had physically struck a child during an argument. Deputies went to the location on LA 400 and were able to locate the victim as well as the suspect, now identified as Tyrone Fair Jr. Deputies did observe injuries to the victim and did conclude that Tyrone Fair inflicted those injuries upon the victim. At the conclusion of the investigation, Tyrone Fair Jr. was arrested and booked into the Assumption Parish Detention Center on charges of domestic abuse battery with child endangerment, and Tyrone Fair Jr. remains incarcerated pending a bond hearing.
We appreciate that, Commander. And lastly, let's talk a little bit about Mr. Kenwan Kohler, please.
Kenwan Kentrell Kohler, 30, of 2616 Madge Street, Houma, Louisiana, was arrested on felony charges arising from a disturbance at a residence in the 3300 block of LE1 near Libertyville. Deputies were dispatched to this location and made contact with the complainant, who advised that her domestic partner, identified as Kenwan Kentrell Kohler, had broken her cell phone and then deliberately drove her vehicle into another vehicle at the residence in question. It was further reported to deputies that Kohler had severely damaged a television set inside the home. At the conclusion of their investigation, deputies determined that there was property that was damaged, and the person responsible for those damages was Kenwan Kentrell Kohler. Deputies arrested Kenwan Kentrell Kohler and booked him into the Assumption Parish Detention Center on charge of simple criminal damage to property, simple criminal damage to property felony, 2 counts. Kenwan Kentrell Kohler remains incarcerated pending a bond hearing.
And, you know, Commander, it's really interesting here as we close out the show, when we close out this year. Thankful for all your reporting. It's sad that we have these incidents that happen around Christmas time with kids. You know, we'd think we're going to honor the kids and treat them a little bit better or differently, but that's what happens when we decide to make bad decisions. But we're always glad that y'all are working so hard to get them off the street. We're thankful for your time and certainly for all the efforts that y'all put in at Assumption Parish Sheriff's Office.
Thank you, guys, and wish y'all the best of the new year.
We appreciate it so very much. Thank you so much, Commander. All right, and guys, we appreciate you paying attention as well. Very glad to have you as part of our team and being on the lookout for some of these problem areas that we rely on for law enforcement to report. So very thankful for you as well. That'll do it for this particular segment and this Bayou Time, but don't go anywhere. A whole lot more local programming right here on HTV.
Today's social media segment is brought to you by Terrebonne General Health System. Your health is our legacy. Rouse's, you're either local or you're not. Buick, the craft of modern luxury. St. Martin and Bourke, know your rights.